Okay, we're gonna make a go of episode number 5 of the breakdown. Uh, it's 5 o'clock or so, and we're fishing up here. Uh, we came out here kind of checking the place out for some bass fishing, and the water where over to my right here, where the water, this water over here, where I wanted to do some bass fishing, it was dirty. So I fished over here to my left into the main lake, and just trying to catch something, make it worth my while. And while I was here, there was carp cruising all around. There's over along the shoreline over here, there's a bit of an opening where a fish can get to like a really weedy kind of bay. And then around the lighthouse there's a lot of current coming out of the channel here. So as far as structure is concerned, for Lake Ontario shoreline, that's pretty interesting as far as the fish are concerned. So we're gonna set up here. We've fished here in the past, not maybe for 2 hours for carp, so not really a proper session. And I fished further up here for carp in the past, and not done very well, but I've seen other people catch them, so they're in the area. My experience from salmon fishing out here is that it's pretty much a flat bottom. There's generally some sparse weed. So my plan is, I figure the fish are going to be zigzagging all over here, moving pretty fast. So I'm going to try, and I don't think there's a lot of features. So I'm going to try to make a large, sparse kind of patch of bait. Have some really bright pop-ups over top of it. I'm not going to go heavy with the bait, but I'm just going to like put a couple spots out every 10 or 15 minutes, and just keep topping it up. And if the fish get on the bait, then we'll see what kind of strategy I do after that. But this is I knocked up a bit of bait just on the way in, just before I came in. Before I went to bed, I made a batch of corn, and then I added about 2 kilos of boilies, peach and orange, some chickpeas, some sweet corn, and some corn pellets that hopefully they'll break down and make a bit of a cloud. But we're gonna hopefully fish till dusk, and the goal is 1 fish. But I gotta get set up. I gotta see how thick the weed is. Hopefully it's just some silkweed on the bottom, and then we can make this happen. Okay, it took me a little longer than I expected to get rigged up and to get everything out on the spot. Long story short, I used the bench over here as distance sticks, and I did 14 wraps on the bench for my rigs, and then I did 13 wraps for my spod. And I was hoping to keep the bait and the rigs a little bit closer together that way, kind of be a little more accurate. Hopefully I wasn't too accurate. It felt like I was getting a pretty clean drop out there, and everything's pretty featureless out there, so I feel like I could have maybe spread things out a little bit more than I did. But I'm quite happy with the bait, even though the bait kind of came together last minute. Somehow I'm fairly happy with my rigs. I just have my standard helicopter rig with the the zip bomb, the monster zip bomb on the end. And I have a boom section. I have like some quarter boom with some crimps on there. Nice stiff boom on a helicopter setup on some lead core. And I have Ronnie rigs on the end. And I have snowman pop-ups on everything. I think I have 2 banana, 2 silt bustas, and 2 tutti fruities. So I got a few different colors out there. I don't know how hectic it's gonna get, or even if I'm gonna land a fish, but if I do drop a fish because of the rigs, so be it. There might be a better rig than the Ronnie rig for this spot, but we'll find out. I haven't seen any fish swimming around today, but there is a bit of a chop on the water, so they could be there. I just might not be able to see them. But rigs are out. It's like 6:30 or so now, so I have maybe 4 hours until dark. So I'm gonna sit tight for a bit, have a little bit of water, try to stay in the shade. It's like 30 degrees out today. There was a chance of thunderstorms, but I came out anyway. And we'll see how the day transpires. It's been a while since I fished into dark, so thankfully I remembered my headlamp and my light in case I need to do any filming in the dark later. But rigs are out. I'm gonna message John and let him know that episode 5 of the breakdown is on its way. Just reeled in to go over the rig kind of quick. I'll recast in a second. Got the 100-gram monster zip bomb. on the end of the, we got a quick change clip here, little buffer bead onto the lead core, some pre-tied lead core, little stopper bead here, just if a fish runs with it, it gets hooked. We got the 2 pop-ups, Snowman, the banana DT baits. Got a little piece of rig tubing here because I don't have any stoppers. Little micro swivel, which is not ideal, but that's how I do it. Some shrink tubing, size 2 monster hook, the Ronnie swivel, the quarter boom, quarter crimps, a couple of little weights to keep it pinned down. Just a little anti-tangle sleeve to push it away, and that's pretty much it. Hook still feels good. Sun's just going down. Wind's pretty much the same, about 15k southwest, and just kind of enjoying being out here. Everybody else is enjoying the little break in the heat, but I'm gonna get this rig back out there, and gonna try to film a couple of these sailboats as they come in off the lake. Okay, it's 8:30 now. I've been here with the lines in for about maybe 3 hours, and I am getting a tiny bit of random indication on my left-hand rod. I just redid that one after I showed the rig there, but you never know with all there's like some pretty big bait fish and bass and things in here, and they might just be fixated on something stuck on my line, suspended somewhere along between here and my pod and the bottom. That there might be some fish just knocking at it, but then again, it could be a carp. So I'd really like to get one landed before dark, and the rocks along the pier here are pretty wicked, so before I set up, I kind of mentally, like, I walk down to the water and try to pick the best spot to land a fish, so that hopefully if it does happen into night, then I won't kill myself trying to get down to the water to land the fish. But I'd really like to get one or two before dark, and then maybe I can pack it in without fishing into dark. But I do have all the lights and everything I'll need. I didn't really charge my my power packs enough, so we'll see what kind of battery life I have. And I've been trying to like kind of ration the batteries and not really film too much extra. So we'll see how things progress, and hopefully I don't miss a run as a result. It's funny the number of breakdown spots we found inadvertently, kind of looking for spots to go for other fish, and whether it be bass or trout or salmon or panfish or catfish or whatever the case may be. Uh, oh, oh, that was weird. I just had indication on my left bobbin and middle bobbin almost at the same time. Anyways, the number of spots we've found just scouting for other species, and that it's kind of neat. Just getting out there and poking around, whether you're fooling on Google Maps or just a regular map or just brainstorming. It's kind of neat. Like a lot of it's got to do with timing, but putting in the legwork is a huge part of it. So don't be afraid to get out, and keep your mind open when you're targeting other fish. Okay, it's 10 o'clock now. Didn't get anything in the daytime. We're gonna give it a couple hours into dark here. Got the full moon coming up in about a day or so. Lake is nice and calm, nice cool breeze. Perfect night to spend a little time out here with the bugs, and hopefully I'll get rewarded soon. Okay, I was goofing around with my camera and I missed the run. Of course, it's like the only 2 minutes I didn't film was when I got the bite. We got this fish kind of went through some of the other lines, but thankfully didn't pick them up. Got him on the Tutti Frutti Snowman. Not a very big fish, but cool fish from a new swim. And I'm glad I stayed till dark. I'll put the lines back out. I reeled them all in. There's a giant bug on my back. I hope it's a June bug. It's kind of in my shoulder. Oh, it's biting me. Okay, we're gonna get the lines back out after we get this fish back in the water. All right. Okay, it's almost 11 now. Before I got that fish, I had a weird drop run. I don't know what happened exactly. it was like my middle rod. There was no indication at the same time from my left rod or my right rod, so it was just weird that that happened. I don't know if something swam through my line. But yeah, so let's coming up on 11 now. We're gonna stay here for a bit longer because it's kind of comfortable, although it looks like there's some lightning in the distance. So we'll see how quickly that moves in. The lines are back out. I haven't put out any more bait. Just been listening to, like, I think alewife spawning. I don't know if you'll be able to hear that. Alewife spawning on the surface. I think they spawn like in the mid 60s, low 60s to mid 60s. So I think it's just the end of their kind of spawning cycle. I can hear them spinning around on the surface here. But it'd be nice to pick up a quality size fish tonight before I go. Yeah, one rod getting some sort of. The wind has changed a bit, so I'm probably gonna maybe turn the sensitivity down on the alarms in a minute. But yeah, I'm gonna just say, like, this has been a great little breakdown. I had a bunch of anglers kind of push in through the evening, but now that it's cleared out, it's quite comfortable here. So let's try to get one more before we go. Okay, got fish number 2, tad bit smaller, but just took off like a shot. Just ripper. The middle rod, I let him run for a bit so we can get away from the other lines, and a lot less headaches fighting this one and get him in. Didn't get all wrapped up in the other lines or anything. So fish 2 from the new swim, we're doing pretty good. The thunderstorms are rolling in on us, so probably gonna get this guy back in the water and maybe call it a night. Okay, I'm not sure which rod went because the boilies are all gone. I feel like it might have been the Tutti Frutti again. This guy feels like he may have just finished spawning. Actually, doesn't feel as smooth as the other ones. But fish number 3, nothing very big tonight. But 3 fish from a new swim is pretty good. We'll have to see if John can break it down any better. I still got 2 lines in, but I'm gonna start doing a slow pack down and get this fish back in the water. And if you don't see me again, stay tuned for part 2 of episode 5, where John gets out, tries to break down this same swim. Alright, it's just before 12:30 now. Managed to get back to the car, and I missed all the weather. Apparently it's still kind of on its way. But as I was packing up my rods, I realized that the last fish came on the silt busta. So first fish was Tutti Frutti, second fish was banana, and the last fish was the silt bustas. So I caught one on each flavor, which I don't know how common that is, but that's what happened. And that's about it. I'm thirsty. I'm gonna grab a drink on the way home, and I look forward to seeing how John does.
Well, changed my clothes, got the air cranked. I'm gonna go get some cold drinks, and I am on my way in 35 degrees Celsius temperatures to go fish my part of this breakdown. So Dave would have done his session already, and you should have seen his results. All I know is that he did 6 hours, and he did it all in one shot. He didn't have to go back, so he's obviously had fish. He's probably explained, like, we both fished this location before, just not for carp, so that's why this is kind of a new thing. And I was there recently fishing for panfish. I wasn't fishing in that spot, I was just down a bit fishing for crappies, bluegills, things like that. And I saw 2 absolute lumps jump out in the area where we're supposed to be going for this. I know of people who have fished there, so I know the carp get caught there. I know bait's been in for them there. So, yeah, should be interesting. My bait's all mixed up, my gear's ready. I just got to get there. So it's 10 after 5 now. I'm just going to quickly hit the store real quick, and I will see you when I get to the venue. Okay, I'm at the spot. It's pretty busy out here, you know, for a Tuesday late afternoon in 35 degrees heat. There's still a lot of people out. I'm going to kind of set up in the middle of this platform that comes off the pier. The rocks come in at the water there, so it looks like it'll be an easier spot to land a fish without worrying about them getting in the rocks. So I think I'm gonna get started setting up. I'm gonna get the spot rod put together, get some bait out. I don't know how far to cast. I don't know how deep it is. I didn't bring my deeper, forgot my chair. But I think we're gonna just wang it. This is gonna be a rock up, see what happens, and follow the signs. If I get liners, you know, maybe I'll move it in close. If I'm absolutely getting nothing, I'll put a rod out further. I'm only gonna fish 2 rods today. With a lot of people around, I don't like having 3 rods, because if by chance you get a triple run, it's already hard enough to deal with that. Never mind keeping an eye on your stuff and everything with people around. So yeah, time to get some bait ready and get it spotted out there. Okay, so we got Superfruit boilies, 15 mil. We've got hemp seed. We got 2 cans of sweet corn. There is about a handful of Superfruit pellets, 7 mil pellets. There is Superfruit liquid in there. Then there's also some sweetened condensed milk poured over it all, mixed in. And then this morning before work, I poured in about a liter of river water and then let this sit in the hot van to soak up all the juice and goo and stuff through the heat of the day in the van. So this is the spot mix. at all if you had one fish, if you had 10 fish, I don't know. Well, it's the way I usually fish, kind of a wang and bang. Just throw it out there and kind of play it by ear. But I'm going to give it an hour, and then I'm going to put more bait out. And probably put 8 or 10 spots out every hour, just to see what happens. Just coming up on an hour in. I just tied a fresh rig. The rig on the right is the sharper of the two. The rig on the left is definitely sharp. It hasn't had any fish on it, but it could be sharper. So while I was doing that rig, I did get a whack on the right hand rod. Just a quick like smack and then done. So either something hit the line or something grabbed the bait and didn't get hooked. So I'm going to give it about 15 minutes. Because I don't know what crap's on the bottom. I didn't let around. When I put the casts out there, felt like it was between 8 and 10 feet deep. The right hand rod has an inline lead. The left hand rod is a helicopter setup with a heli safe. So if there is crap on the bottom, the helicopter rig's going to sit on top of it. But it was the right hand rod that had the first bit of indication that something's out there. So I'll probably do a recast in about 15 minutes, maybe put a little bit more bait out. Not seen any shows. Kinda got nothing to go on other than I know fish come out from here. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say Dave probably fished the corner into the little bay to the right. Maybe put one over along that rock wall and then one in open water. That might be the smarter move, but I've not seen any reason to cast over there. I think if I get more indication to the right, I'll move rigs that way, but not until then. before the battery runs out, get our first fish. Okay, this came to the right-hand rod, obviously. The pineapple chunks pop up. The inline rig. I saw a fish show right between the rods. Waited 5 minutes, put some bait out. And this one ripped off. Wish I had a camera with a higher angle so you could actually see the shimmer on its scales in the water. It's just a little guy. It's a beauty. So my start of the breakdown is kicked off. Hopefully there's a few more for the night. Smile. Smile. Just the shimmering gold in the top of the scales. It's really hard to see. Beauty. Great way to start. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. So I've been here 2 hours. That fish came just after 7-ish, quarter after 7. There's been some shows to the right in that little bay. But all those shows have been out in open water, out from the bay. Still pretty much at the distance I'm fishing. The only other show that I've seen, aside from what's to the right, is one that came up dead nuts in front of me between my two rods. At the same distance both rods are at. So I'm pretty satisfied with my spots. The left-hand rod, it seems shallower than the right. And I also get a very firm donk on the right-hand rod when it hits. It's just kind of odd. I didn't do the recast. Start spotting bait over the spots, and then as soon as I'm done spotting bait, I get a take. And then when it's quiet, nothing. The other odd thing is that as it gets later, the wind is picking up, which is another thing that's a little bit out of place. Seen a fair bit of fizzing to my left, but in very close, like 2 lengths out from the rocks. That could be drum, it could be suckers, or it could be carp. Now, if in the next half hour I haven't seen any shows to the left, I get no indication on that left-hand rod, I might use the bait scoop, create a spot close in, drop the left-hand rod on that for anything kind of passing between my spots and the shore. And I'll keep the right-hand rod where it is. Probably I'll give it 30 minutes before I do any more spots over that spot. So yeah, this might be a they respond to bait kind of spot. So yeah, 15 minutes I'll make an adjustment to the left side, 30 minutes bait on the right, and go from there. It's been another hour. I'm just around 9 o'clock, just after 9. Sunset, and still a ton of like lure anglers, worm dunkers, lots of people out walking. Few indications, not much. The left-hand rod did get some indication. Been watching the water, seen a few fish show straight out 250, 300 yards away. Nothing close. Possibly because of the lure anglers, I don't know. The jet skis, when they were kind of right on top of the spot, yeah, that really shut everything down in close. Yeah, session's not going how I thought it would. I did expect to see a little bit more activity, but we'll give it a little bit into darkness and see what happens. I don't know if I'll stay as late as Dave did, but one fish doesn't really count as a success. So I definitely need another one to kind of prove that I'm doing the right thing. We'll see. distance there. Hard to tell with that run. Oh man, just where the which rod it was that went. This was the, oh man, this is so twisted up in here. There's the left hand rod on that open spot. It's just a little fish, so it didn't really do much. Definitely been caught before. He's got a mangled mouth on this side. It's hard with that flashlight being so bright, but not bad. Second fish. That was like almost 3 hours after the first one. We'll see. Maybe there's a chance for another bite. Okay. Let's see. It is 10 o'clock. The bugs are absolutely insane now, especially since I just put the light on. So that's 2 fish, 1 to each spot, 1 on the pineapple, 1 on the super fruit. But now that it's dark and there's no other anglers and there's almost no people around, I can hear fish crashing from within 10 yards all the way out, like probably a couple 100 yards. There are fish just boiling out there. I did pack the spot rod away, so I won't be spotting out any more bait. I did that because once it got dark, I wasn't going to be able to see my spots. I can kind of go by feel with the rods and the leads, but with the spot it's a lot heavier, so it's hard to judge if it's too close or too far. So the right hand rod, because it's an inline setup, oh my god, each cast with that's going to be a PBA stick. The left hand rod, because it's just a pink bait, I have a lot of confidence of those in the dark, so that's just going to be cast to the general area of the bait to the left. I never did end up baiting a small spot in close, just because I would get the occasional knock and bump out where I was. But man, there are fish coming up all over now, and these bugs, can you see the bugs? They are, oh man, it's like every kind of, that was right on top of the right hand rod. Oh man, I can hear so many fish coming up. I'm definitely going to want to revisit this location with a little bit more effort. I may not be really giving it the kind of effort it deserves. This is only like my third time behind a pod this year. I've been doing so much match fishing, I haven't really done the specimen carp chasing. But I'm definitely going to come back for another session of this here. Definitely a morning session for sure. I don't know if I could do a night with all these bugs. But we'll see. We'll see Give it another hour. Oh, I really just did that whole bit without hitting the record button. That was like 10 minutes. Damn. Okay, so I finished my breakdown for this spot. I want to come back. I want to do a morning session here. This is a spot we wanted to fish for a long time, and we just kept putting it off, and yeah, finally we just went for it. I don't feel like I gave it the effort it deserved. I think I could have tried harder and got better results, either bigger fish or more fish, but at the end of the day, I did produce on both spots. I didn't move the rigs. I kept them on their baited spots, even with recasts. I kind of stuck to my guns. I had indication pretty much the whole time. I would have a stretch with nothing. I'd throw some boilies over top, or when I did the spods, and then within minutes I was getting indication right away. So fish were responding to bait. That is the most definitive thing that I figured out, is that they really respond to bait quickly. Oh, it's 11:30 now. I need to get home. I got to work in the morning after making this a very, very long day today already. But that was it wasn't the most peaceful session with so many people about. It makes me a little bit uncomfortable with that many people moving around behind me, but once the sun dropped and it cooled down a bit, the wind picked up, it was a lot more comfortable. And once the boaters and the jet skiers went in, it was much more peaceful. I could just listen to the bugs. I could listen to the fish rising. Would have liked to hear the alarm scream a few more times, but I'm going to come back for a morning session at some point relatively soon. And I'm going to try this again. Maybe with 3 rods, maybe I'll stick with the 2, but I'm going to go heavy on the bait. I don't think it's a pre-bait scenario. I think it's I'm going to show up and put 5 or 6 kilos of bait out, then set up, get some rigs out, and just see what happens. They really respond to that bait like very quickly. There's a lot of fish there. They were, as soon as it got dark, they were showing. So the last 2 hours, just steady shows everywhere. So yeah, we'll have to meet up with Dave and kind of do a rundown of what we think of our sessions and compare notes. But that's my part of the breakdown done. Yeah, wish I would have tried harder, but I was still successful. So I'm going to head home, try and get some sleep for work tomorrow. And yeah, I got to plan my next session. I think my next session out is like a practice session for match fishing. So switching gears again and again and again, but I will be back to do this soon. This was a good spot, and I think the potential is going to be insane. So I'm quite excited. Big
But
Dave, Mr.
yeah,
Dave. We did another breakdown, and everybody will have now seen both parts of the breakdown. As of this particular moment for us, I have not seen your part, and you have not seen mine.
no,
So,
I thought I knew how yours went, but now I'm completely in the dark. Uh,
yeah, I have no idea how yours went. I have one assumption on your whole situation that I hinted at during mine, and that was just simply where you were positioned. But we did this breakdown on the pier. Everybody will have seen it now and seen how both of us did and what both of us did. Um, but you went first. So why don't you give us a rundown of how yours went? Because I don't know yet. I haven't watched it.
How, give you a rundown how I did.
Well, like how you approached it.
Um, we both saw uh we I think we both walked the area not too long ago, I think. Oh yeah, you did a little bit of pole fishing in the marina or
Yeah,
whatever.
I was fishing some panfish like the week before.
And I had gone out to do some bass fishing, and there were fish like kind of zigzagging in the area that we picked. And I just assumed like I just wanted to get um a loose kind of tight slash loose patch of bait out there and just kind of be accurate with my rigs and kind of hope the fish would come across the bait before too long. And that was pretty much the extent of my plan going in.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I we've both wanted to fish that spot for a long time and just never have. And we know people who have. And yeah, the week before I had seen fish rising relatively close to the pier, not far off the rocks, on that little kind of jetty part to the side that we both fished. Um, did so you got this little jetty part that kind of sticks out from the side of the pier. I set up right dead center. Please tell me you set up to like the right hand corner, closer to where you're approaching it, to fish that bay to the right more.
I set up close to the like the edge close to the marina,
Yeah,
but I cast straight out like
interesting. I had a feeling you would be on the little corner of that fishing access to the like to try and cut off that little bay to the right. I stayed right dead center and I fished a line slightly right and a line slightly left, but straight out.
I ran three rods and I had all three rods go.
Oh, you did? Oh
Uh,
my God. Okay.
um, not like a triple take. Um, but I had each rod go and it was a bit of a I don't know. I don't fish three rods a lot, and I thought it was gonna take three rods to like get a bite as quick as possible there. And then like it did end up causing some havoc. Like I don't fish three rods very well, and then in the dark it's like a whole nother challenge to like
Yeah.
when you get a take to figure out like what the hell's going on if you're under the line, over the line, or um, and then to get them in without having a big tangle. So
Interesting. So, like, did you like pick and bait three specific spots?
no, I did pretty much the three rods on a spot sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Um, I had a plan going in that I was gonna kind of top up the bait like every 10 minutes or something, just put out like a couple spots over top. Um, kind of get trying to get the fish's attention. Uh, and then I didn't do that. Uh, the I just kind of I whacked out like half my bait right off the hop, and there was just so many people around. Uh, I just didn't want to be like spotting every 10 minutes because it would just be like a trigger for like more people to ask questions and stuff.
Gotcha.
So I just kind of like I put out like half the bait I brought with me initially, and then just kind of sat over the rods, and that was nothing glamorous about that, but that's what I did.
Hmm. Interesting. Um, yeah, so I fished two rods just because I didn't want to deal with the triple take with all those people around. Um, it was 35 degrees when I was there, and
Yeah.
that was after a long work day of welding. So I was absolutely cooked. And I had no desire to be around people or talk to people. And it just so happened that while I was setting up and sitting there, like people were coming over that recognized me from the channel. And, it was nice to chat with some of them. But it was like trying to focus and I'm trying to cool down and I can't do either. And there's people looking at the setup like, oh, I've never seen rods like that before, and oh, that's kind of neat. And why do you keep casting that stuff that's splattering everywhere? So I did get hit with a lot of questions, and a lot of public interaction. Probably the first hour I was there, and then after that, nobody talked to me at all, which
You
is kind of weird.
you left. Did you leave before dark or did you fish into dark?
I didn't plan to fish as long as you did. I think I started just before or around 6 p.m. and I think I was back at the van like ready to go at 11:30.
So you did catch a bit of dark, I think.
I had probably 2.5 hours of dark, 3 hours of dark,
Those friggin' bugs were crazy
two
when
hours
the
of dark.
sun.
Yeah, you know what? Right before it got dark, um, well, to go back, I'm not quite finished the edit as we're speaking right now, so I don't know how much I have on camera, but I had jet skiers over my area quite a bit, and they knew they were going over my lines. Now, I'm not as far out as I think they expected me to be. Um, I was probably 5 rod lengths out, 6 rod lengths out, not really big casts. I had a spot to the right, spot to the left, and I baited them both with the spot. These guys were out just past me, just wreaking havoc. Now, just as it got dark, where those guys were in the jet skis, the whole place came alive with fish jumping from like 20 yards out to like 500 yards out. I was watching fish jump everywhere. It was wild. And
What do you
then
what do
then
you think
that's
was
when the bugs
what
came
was
out
jump?
right after that.
What do you think was jumping?
Oh, it was carp.
Oh
100%
wow,
it was carp. They were everywhere for like 20 minutes, half hour. Then once it got dark, the bugs were insane and I could still hear them showing. I just couldn't see them.
wow. I
But
I didn't
yeah,
have a single show or anything like the whole time I was there.
yeah, I saw shows like almost immediately, and it was pretty quiet when the jet skiers were there. I saw nothing. It was like fish were everywhere, everywhere, man. Every couple of minutes, there's a bosh, bosh, and then I would look way out past the rock wall to the very edge of the marina. Out past that, if I just sat there watching, you'd see these little shows of them jumping way off at a distance, like 500 yards away.
Did when you picked your spot, like did you put much work into like checking the bottom or anything like that?
So I was going to ask you that as well. I did a wang and bang. I decided I'm just going to put 2 rods out. I know there's weed out there, but I years ago I actually went through there in an aluminum boat trolling in close to that wall, and I knew it was a relatively clear bottom with like strands of weed here and there.
Yeah, that's what I
So I,
figured it was
I
like.
had a pretty good impression that it probably was going to still be like that. So I knew that if I just baited up a spot and got my rig close, I'd probably be sitting pretty clear. And I guessed it was about, I don't know, 12 feet, maybe 12, 14 feet tops. Um, I think, in both spots. I had a pretty firm drop on one and kind of like a sandy drop on another. But yeah, I loaded the bait in with the spot on both spots and put a rig on both, and just kind of Yeah, I didn't investigate at all. I had forgotten my deeper. I completely forgot my chair. I ended up sitting on my pail. Um, I
It's
forgot the deeper. I didn't have a marker float with me, and I didn't want to waste time letting around in case fish were already there. Because it wasn't long after I got there that I saw first couple shows not far out and quite a bit to the right. And my freaking phone keeps dinging. Um, so yeah, I didn't do any exploring. I just thought, okay, I think I know what this is like. I'm just gonna give her. And that's what I did. Did you investigate at all?
I put a lead on. Uh, I didn't wanna have a lot of effort putting the bait out, so I didn't go far out. I cast the lead and I got like a donk kind of a drop right away. It almost felt like it hit something and then like fell to the back of it. So I cast again and it hit something and then it felt like it dropped again. Um, so I was like, I'm happy with the hard bottom.
Yeah,
I just clipped off to that and then I think what I did was I forget if I think I took a wrap. I ended up using the benches as my distance sticks,
right.
and I calculated how many wraps it was off the bench to that spot, and then I think I think I took a wrap off um for the spot rod. So
Gotcha.
I I took one wrap off. So let's say I was fishing um 14 wraps with my rigs, and I did 13 wraps with the spot.
Gotcha. For the swing back.
Yeah.
So you noticed it was kind of deeper as well.
Yeah, I figured it was just like yeah, the same thing like 12 to 15 feet or something and just guesstimated that one wrap was gonna kind of do the job, so
Well, at the I don't want to go into too much detail because everybody who's watching this now will have already seen the session, so they already know more than we know about each other. But I do want to know, Dave, how many fish did you get?
three.
Three, one on each rod.
Yeah.
That's funny. I would have thought you did better. Any size to them?
No, I think like my biggest was like 14, 15 or something.
Okay,
What it, did you catch anything?
I did. I had one on each rod, and I think my biggest was about 12, 14 pounds.
Oh, cool. I thought
So,
you oh,
so I had one in daylight, um,
did
not
you
too long after I got there.
I wanted to get one in daylight so I could get a picture with the lighthouse in the background, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, I didn't take any. Oh, I think I did take a picture, but I didn't get the lighthouse because there was freaking people everywhere.
Oh, I'm glad you
Um,
caught it. I thought you blanked.
no, so I did get one in daylight. That was the bigger of the two. That was on the right hand rod. And then like I had liners. There was fish showing everywhere. I don't know how many of those bugs I ate just sitting there. I couldn't put any headlamps on or anything because I got just absolutely swarmed. Um, that should show up in the footage because anytime I tried to do a bit to camera in the dark, they're just all over me. Um, but I think it was I don't know, maybe around 10 o'clock or so when I had the second one, and that was on the left hand rod, I believe.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's awesome.
It's been like a month since or more since we did the did the fishing. Um,
Oh man, I'm glad you caught it.
but yeah, I didn't realize you had three.
Yeah, I did I don't know what it was, like s- banana snowman, tutti frutti snowman, and silt busted snowman, and I had one on each.
I don't remember what I was using.
Uh,
I think I had a yellow and I either had a I either had a pineapple or a banana on one. I don't remember which. And I think I had a Silk Busta on for a while, and then I may have switched it to like a Superfruit pink. I don't quite remember from this point because, like I said, I'm not finished editing the footage, so I haven't seen it all yet. But it was a while ago. But yeah, okay. So we both caught. You did three on a spot. I did two completely separate spots. So even though I wasn't very far out, I was about the same distance apart from my rods as I was out from me. Um, so they're like just so that both spots weren't interacting with each other if the fish got on one and not the other.
yeah,
Uh, but funny enough, to the little bay to the right, I was sure that that was where you were going to set up and put your focus. There was a lot of fish showing over there, even while there was like worm dunkers and lure anglers.
yeah.
They were casting around in there, and the carp were still showing. They weren't bothered by that at all.
I wanted to. I looked through the footage. Like I had people come up and fish beside me like the whole time I was there. And this one guy came up. I knew he was going to cross my lines. I wish I got it on camera, but I said to him like I'm like whatever you do, please don't cross my line. And because I've never put so much effort into being accurate before with like clipping off and like
Right.
using distance sticks and like picking a horizon marker and like measuring like the distance of my spot and all this stuff. And that guy, like first cast, he crosses my line, and I just like my alarm starts going off, and he's looking at it. I'm like, dude, I'm like, I asked you not to cross my line. This guy was way bigger than me. I gave him so much attitude.
Nice.
So I was hoping it was going to be on camera, but it didn't happen. So
Damn.
yeah.
Um, okay, so looking back, is there anything you would have done differently?
Um, anything I would have done differently? Um, I I don't know if I should have like had a slightly bigger spot or I the only thing I didn't like was just the fish like fishing the three lines like I had the first fish like went through every line and thankfully like didn't pick anything up, but it was just a big hassle to have to cast everything over again. The third I think the third fish I let it run for a while before I started fighting it. The second or third, I can't remember, and it came in a lot better. It didn't like get into my lines or anything.
Right.
But I don't know. I just I don't think I would have approached it any different. Hopefully, maybe like baiting in advance or something, but like I didn't even do that this time, which was uh,
Yeah.
kind of outside of my wheelhouse a little bit.
And I think I was there like more than I think I was like 9 days after you did yours is when I went and did mine. So it's not like your baiting would have had any impact on mine.
No,
And I didn't pre-bait either. I just went straight from work.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
Um, I had a couple of takeaways myself for like what I would do differently. I definitely would have run three rods. I would have put one much further out. Like I would have probably put the effort into bombing one out to like 80, 90 yards and baiting up over top of it. Um, just to get far out of reach of anybody else's casting range that's going to be typically fishing there, just to see if that would do anything different, if those fish maybe group up better further away. And that's just based on how I saw them showing just before dark. They were mostly much further away, and there were some bigger fish that I saw at distance. So I
yeah.
would,
It's unfortunate we didn't get into any of the big ones, but
yeah,
it was nice that we all caught. It was
yeah,
good.
I would definitely fish further, and I would have put one to the right in that bay for sure. So I probably would have kept my left hand rod where it was, bombed the middle one, and the right hand rod would have been a little bit more right than I was fishing, to be kind of more towards that bay. I was kind of on the edge of it, and out of ways, just to try and capitalize on what's moving around in there. I think those are the only things that I really would have done differently. I was happy with the bait mix. I was happy with my accuracy spotting, stuff like that. And what would be your final thought now on this session, or what you would, what like would you want to go back and try it again?
Um, I would. Yeah, I think I definitely would. Like, um, it just seems like we have so many spots that are just like so difficult to get to. Um, it's kind of nice to not that we're fishing out of the back of our cars, but like it's such a straightforward spot to kind of get to. It was kind of nice in that regard,
Yeah.
and but it's not a. I don't think it's like a short session kind of place. Like I think I would go back if I was like if I had time for like a leisurely session. The only thing is, it's like the big water spots like that. It's so like wind dependent. Like that place can be like a complete gong show. Like with that
Yeah.
wind switches around or whatever, it's just like a write off. You start getting like 1 meter waves or whatever. Even like half a meter waves. Your alarms probably won't shut up the whole time you're there.
Yeah, you can
Um,
very quickly get like 2 foot rollers hitting that bank like out of nowhere.
that's the only thing. That's the only I think drawback is just you're at the whim of like the wind. If the wind decides to not be your friend, then you're pretty much out of luck. So, but
Um,
it's definitely a nice little spot. I think it'd be nice to do another like kind of like an overnight or a late night session there. I think
yeah.
during the day I don't think just you have to be in the right frame of mind to have all those people kind of talking to you.
Oh, for sure. I said this at the end of my session, but I really want to go back for like an early morning. I
Yeah,
would
I was
like
thinking that
I'd like
too
to do a morning there.
about my bass. I keep wanting to get your bass out of there, and it's just so damn hot lately. I think a morning session is probably the way to go.
Yeah, so I think we should both probably revisit that spot at some point soon. I definitely want to do a morning session. It would be nice if we could hit the bank together there, cover a little bit more of the water, and try a few different things. But overall, that was 2 successful sessions. We both did well. Obviously, we did what worked, but I have a feeling we did like the bare minimum and caught the bare minimum. Something tells me that that spot has a little bit more magic to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we did see a lot of fish cruising around there. It'd be nice to, yeah, it would be nice to like have some bait sitting there for 2 or 3 days or something. Um, I'm just like I'm shocked that we both caught the way we did there because it's a giant lake and
Yeah,
they could be anywhere.
it's very heavily pressured. It's a very public. There are other carpers that go there, I think more later in the year. Um, but yeah, that's I think something just popped up on my screen. I just exited away very quickly, but
Oh,
um,
maybe a warning about our timeline.
yeah, warning. That's probably what it was. I think it was like your time's almost up. So hopefully that doesn't interfere with the recording. Knowing our luck, it probably will, but oh well.
I'm glad that we got out and managed to film another breakdown.
Yeah, that was that was good. I wouldn't say my session was incredibly fun, but it was productive. Um, I'm happy that both of us did something that worked. But like I said, I think if we go back and I didn't put the full effort in because of how hot and worn out I was. But I have a feeling if like we both went with full energy and full focus, there's something special to come out of there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. The lake, I don't know. I don't think anyone's really kind of put a legitimate effort into fishing like Lake Ontario. Like, uh, there's people that, you know, it's weird to say Lake Ontario, but like basically like um you pick a CCS member like from Toronto, a CCS member from like Long Sault, and a CCS member from
And,
Oshawa and
and one from Niagara, and
Niagara.
we're all fishing the same lake,
It's
and we're
crazy.
we're 500 kilometers apart.
Yeah.
Um, wow, I've never really thought about it that way. We're all fishing the same lake, and we're in some cases we're as much as 500 or 600 kilometers away.
It's crazy to think the size of the like I don't know what those fish are doing. Like they were like swimming out in the middle or sticking to the margins or whatever, but I don't even like or if they even travel that far to begin with. I feel they're kind of homebodies for the most part, but who knows?
Well, we'll have to put some more effort into exploring that spot and maybe some other of the spots on the lake in more than just the spring like we usually do. Um, but yeah, for now, another breakdown in the books.
Yeah.
We got to come up with a spot for another one.
Yeah, well definitely there'll definitely be another one if I have anything to say about it.
Yeah. I think we've got a few challenges we want to knock off first, but yeah, this one was good. This worked out well.
Another one for the catalog.
Another one for the catalog. Let's throw that one in the magazine.
Mm.
All right, buddy. Well, that was a good time. I'm glad both of us caught, and I'm glad that we both got something out of that. And yeah, I guess on to the next breakdown or challenge, or who knows,
Some sort
whatever
of
else random stuff we got coming up.
looking forward to whatever's next.
Awesome. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, John.
Ciao.
Ciao.